Business. I'm your host, Nicole Murray. Well, this week on the show, we discuss the business of fitness, from different ways to keep our kids healthy and ways to make time for fitness in our already busy lives, to playing a sport for fun. Well, coming up later in the show, we have interviews with Director of Golf at Brookwater Golf Club, Mark Weir, and personal trainer Max Sollmer. But first up, we have Managing Director of Fitness and Dance Studio, Sandy Carrington, joining us in the studio. Hi, Sandy.
Hi, how are you?
Good, thanks. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
That's all right. So, Sandy, how did you get started in dancing?
I started, as most kids do, age of 5 with tap and jazz, and have since then pretty much danced my entire life. About 16 years ago, I came into connection with fitness and dance and started my own studio, and things just progressed from there. I've had a total of 15 locations myself, and progressed to the position I'm in today. And throughout the time, I've been very lucky to have been able to teach hundreds of children. Been a very rewarding experience.
Yeah, and so why dance for you as a business?
It's a great way for people to get active. Certainly they can improve their fitness, their coordination. Mostly we find one of the most rewarding things is where kids can benefit from the growth in their self-confidence. Literally lots and lots of parents will come up and tell us at the end of a year how shy their kids were at the beginning of the year and what a different person they are now out on stage. So that's a wonderful thing to be part of.
So do you think that's why the kids enjoy it so much, because they get that confidence in the fitness as well and they just feel good all round?
I think so, and it has a very social aspect to it as well. So a lot of the time if they're having fun and it's a great experience, they like to share that with other people as well. So some of the friendships that they can develop within dance often be lifelong, because they're able to share a passion that they have with someone else that has the same passion.
Yeah, and so what sort of age bracket do you have with the children there?
We do cater for all ages, and we do have adult classes as well, but predominantly our program ranges for children from 3 through to late teens. So we find that's the most popular area or take up for our classes.
Yeah, and so what styles of dance do you have on offer?
We offer funky jazz, hip hop and cheerleading, all very, very popular, all to recent top 40 style music, which is very popular with the kids also.
So funky jazz, not just normal jazz, and we were talking earlier about that, about how you had to say funky jazz because people had the conception that jazz was a bit old-fashioned.
That's true. Sometimes people, actually quite a lot of people won't even know what jazz actually stands for, because they have the conception of jazz music. And a lot of the time they don't actually realise that it is, you know, very current and very popular recent music that we are dancing to. So, and some of the programs that have been on, So You Think You Can Dance and whatnot, sometimes show jazz in the form of maybe as it was in the 1980s and so forth. So we thought we just need to let everybody know that it is quite updated and it is actually very current and very popular.
So I would imagine it'd be very important for you to stay relevant with the changing trends. And I noticed you said cheerleading as well, so that American style cheerleading?
Yes, it is. American style cheerleading. It's one of the fastest growing sports in the country. We've had a huge take up with cheerleading. We became involved with cheerleading. It has a large dance component to cheerleading, so we felt that it fitted quite well into our program. And yes, incredibly popular. It's fantastic. Also promotes a great deal of teamwork amongst the different team members, particularly when they're doing the stunting and the pyramid building, and they're obviously relying on each other to execute that safely and correctly. And yeah, it's just such an energised sport to be part of. It's lots of fun.
Yeah, it looks quite, you know, intense in terms of a physical sense.
It certainly is, and yeah, definitely for improving your coordination and building strength. There's a tumbling aspect to it as well. So we've got students that are, you know, tumbling, doing cartwheels and handsprings and round-offs and whatnot. So there's lots of new skills there for them to learn and master as well.
Yeah, and speaking before, you were saying So You Think You Can Dance, and other shows that have, you know, become popular, do they influence people wanting to learn dance as well, or?
Definitely.
Yeah.
We've found that generally there's been an increased take-up in dance, but also predominantly maybe more so from boys, because I think they're getting to see that there's a large population of men and boys involved in dance, and that it's actually lots of fun and a great thing to learn.
Yeah, well, they would see it on all the film clips and everything, so it's quite trendy and
that's right, your
masculine.
movies and TV shows and film clips. So dance has become such a significant part of popular culture that it's it's introducing a lot of people to it that otherwise might not have in previous times.
Yeah. Now, from a business aspect, how do you market the business?
Well, we're lucky to have such a good presence here in Southeast Queensland. We've been going for over 30 years now. So a lot of our business comes from word of mouth. And as I said before, the very social aspect of being able to enjoy something with your friends. So if your program is fun and relevant, people will introduce their friends to it as well. Another great way we find that really promotes the business is getting students out there and actually showing people how much fun it is and what you can actually learn and be part of, which we find is really popular as well.
Yeah, and so you've grown the business now. It was just in Queensland, but now you've gone national and you've opened a studio in Melbourne. Tell us about that.
That was very exciting, or it still is. So what our mission was to make FAD available outside of where we're well known here in Southeast Queensland and make it available to as many students as possible to allow them to feel the excitement of dance as well and get active through dance. So basically involved a lot of demographic analysis, learning what worked for our business up here and what was popular, and then applying that to a new environment. So in addition to that, there was also a lot of time on the ground in Melbourne, and working with people from the area also we found was really important in imperative to the success of it also.
Yeah, okay. And so the franchise, you've got franchises now, so setting up the franchise is a lot of work, like having to train all the franchisees and...
Look, there's a lot of hard work for anyone, I think, that wants to be in business. So, to do it well, you need to, there is definitely a lot of hard work that needs to be undertaken. What we like to think, though, is we give people a huge head start in being able to help them basically launch themselves into business because we have that experience, we have the program there, and we're actually able to guide them rather smoothly through all the different pitfalls and things that they need to undertake in order to open a business.
In order to open a business, yeah. So it sounds very exciting that you get to do something that you love and then share that with the world as well and have a business out of it as well.
Definitely, and we often advertise that it's not often you get to do a job that you love and that you have a passion for. So certainly, if you have a passion for dance and you like sharing that passion with others, and you also have a passion for business, it's a great combination.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much, Sandy, for coming in and sharing with us all about fitness and dance.
No problems. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. All right. Well, coming up after the break, we have an interview and some personal training tips with Max Sollmer and a chat with Mark Weir, and that's next on Good Business. Well, welcome back to Good Business. So do you find it hard to take time out of your day to exercise and stay fit and healthy? Well, earlier in the week, our production team caught up with personal trainer Max Sollmer from Anytime Fitness to talk about the business of personal training and to get a quick few tips for people who don't have as much time to hit the gym.
How and why did you get involved in personal training and where?
So originally I got involved in personal training, so I was in and out of gyms since I was about 14. I didn't really know what I was doing, and I had a few mates who were trainers, so they encouraged me to do it when I finished school. I was 19, and I always wanted to be on stage like Arnold Schwarzenegger and that, so I had to know what I was doing to do that. Originally I'm from Bendigo, just near Melbourne in Victoria, and that's where I got involved in that. I've done my courses and that in Bendigo.
So with the growing availability of equipment at local stores, how does this affect the amount of clients that you receive at the gym?
It doesn't really affect it because people are buying those products and all that kind of thing, but they really still don't know how to use it. So they come in and see me still and ask how to use it, and if not, they end up staying here and training.
How many clients do you manage?
On average, it's about 20 a week, but that can vary depending on the time of the year, such as like Christmas time, it drops to really none, as opposed to mid-year, it's 20 upwards of 30.
What is the most common age for your clients?
I don't start training people till they're 16, just because their body's not fully developed yet, and they really can't lift muscles or stunt their growth, all that kind of thing. Whereas it gets to, on average, from 18 till about 25, and sometimes I'd take clients over 30, but very rarely.
And what background do they come from?
Mostly they're from just people who were fit originally, but they want to get fitter again because they've lost it over the years, just stopped training, started eating, had kids, all that kind of thing. And that's the most of them. And then as the younger clients come in, they just want to look good for schoolies I'm getting at the moment. So,
How do people find out about your business?
Well, Anytime Fitness is worldwide. There's 1,800 gyms around the world. There's about 20 in Brisbane, so there's a website running all that, and there's always promotional things. So we advertise just using flyers and posters and all that kind of thing up around the district and area.
What is the cost of personal training versus normal gym membership, and what are the benefits?
Oh, well, personal training I normally charge $50 for half an hour or $75 an hour myself. That's just in here alone. As the gym membership's $15 a week. But that said, the benefits of personal training are a lot more beneficial because you get to your goals quicker, and I'll work muscles and all that kind of thing that you don't actually have, which will help to tone up.
Do you find that 24-hour gym is more popular than a regular gym, and why do you think this is?
Yes, it's definitely more popular. The reason being, I've worked in gyms for the last 8 years now, and each one of them until now wasn't a 24-hour gym. And I've got people coming in at 7 o'clock trying to work out in half an hour, or they're coming in on their lunch break trying to work out in half an hour. They're just not getting it. So with the 24-hour gym, most people come in between 4 and 6 in the morning to train before work, or they're coming in between 3 and 5 after work. So definitely more beneficial.
What makes your business unique?
Us personally, it makes our business unique because we've got trainers from different areas. I myself have done martial arts for 18 years now, so I specialise in that kind of thing, body toning, as well as I'm a bodybuilder. And we've got David, my personal training manager, who's a naturopath. So he specialises in diets, all that kind of thing, and bulking up. And Danielle, who's just come on board, she hasn't been a trainer all that long, but she's also done kinesiology and all that kind of thing. So she specialises in muscle repair.
Any particular reason that you came to Anytime Fitness?
No, not really. The reason I'm working here is because I was training last year, and the manager said to me I look good and all that kind of thing in a singlet, and asked if I was a trainer, and I said yes, so he asked me if I wanted the job.
If you could be anything, what would it be?
Well, I'd be rich and train 10 hours a day and compete against Arnold Schwarzenegger in the next Olympia.
Well, later that day, we caught up with Max again, where he demonstrated some of the exercises of a common exercise routine.
So could you show us some of the exercises that someone on a tight schedule can do to stay fit and healthy?
Yeah, no worries. If you like, follow me. Alright, so your body works in 5 major muscle groups. You've got back, abs, chest, shoulders, legs. So this one here, this is our main back exercise. So this is for lats. It takes out the whole major muscle in your back. So with this one, always got to make sure with the weights that you've got it on a low rep. So that way, when you're coming down, you can always control it. It's not the quantity of the weight, but the quality of the rep that counts. So from here, just pulling down in between your chin and your chest. Make sure your hands are right out wide. You've got your little fingers lined up on that silver thing there. Just like that. 12 to 15 reps is beneficial for this one because we're only doing light weights. So that'll really get to help and start to tone through the back. Okay, on to the next exercise. So this one's our main chest one. So to adjust this here, just adjust the seat. So generally you want to put this in line with your chest across here. And then down here is where you adjust your pin and your weight just like before on the other one. All we're doing for this one, just pushing forward, just like that. And again, we want to do 15 reps on this one and 3 sets. And that's going to help to control. What this will do is help give us that full look through the chest, and it will help everyone that wants to do the part of the circuit. Alright, so this is our third one. So this one's shoulders. So just like before, we adjust our seat here, but this time instead of chest line, we're adjusting it so that's level here. And again, just the pins down here. Take that out in here. From here, nice and straight, just pushing straight up. Just coming back down, so you're stopping just before you hit. Remember to make your shoulders nice and straight and keep them down and back the whole time. Just like that. Alright, so this one here, so this is our leg exercise that we're going to do as part of the circuit as well. So when we're doing this one, it's always important to adjust this and it goes down. And that'll lock in. So we're doing this one to start. It's from here, so you start just before 90 degrees, so you can always come back to 90. And this one here, so that just controls your weight again. Pushing off from there, slight bend in the knees. We don't want to straighten like that because it'll lock the knees up and you can snap them. So all we're doing is just coming back to there and back up. Just pushing. That'll actually get the whole work of all the major leg muscles except for the calves. Alright, so this one here, so this is our main ab exercise, the last one of the circuit. So now we're balanced there, so stuck our stomach to our spine, that'll give us the full effect of all 12 abs instead of just the top 2. So from here, I make all my clients do it like this. It actually works harder, it gives you a better benefit. But I'll allow you, if you can't do that, just to do like this. So this one we need to do 20 reps of. And that's going to give us the full effect and the best ab workout possible. And this one shouldn't be done every time either, because the first time you do it, you're actually going to hurt yourself because your abs aren't awake yet.
And thank you very much for joining us here today.
No worries, anytime.
If you're looking for more information about Anytime Fitness, you can visit their website at www.anytimefitness.com.au. Back to you in the studio, Nicole.
Oh, well, thanks for that, Max. I'll definitely try and keep those things in mind next time I'm at the gym. Well, still to come on the show, we chat to Director of Golf at Brookwater, Mark Weir. That's next on Good Business. Well, welcome back to Good Business. Well, our final guest today is Mark Weir, Director of Golf at Brookwater Golf Club. Thanks for joining us, Mark.
Thank you.
So, Mark, tell us what got you started in the business of golf?
I've played golf pretty much my whole life since I was as much as I can remember, really. I remember watching my father play when I must be no longer than older than 3 or 4. And I hit late primary school, early high school, and all the friends started to play. And the high school was right across the road from where the golf club was, and I joined the golf club at the age of 11, which back in those days was young, and haven't looked back since.
Yeah. And so as a business, when did that start?
The business started with the golf club I was a junior member at, and also played all my golf at up until as recently as 3 or 4 years ago, Bayview Golf Club in Sydney. I did my apprenticeship there, and spent my whole time there, and in regards to getting into the business side of things, it just flowed on. Looking after rep teams, and then you get a bit deeper in the admin side of things, and now director of golf, which unfortunately doesn't see as much playing these days. But
no. More bookwork than
much
golf.
more bookwork. And when you do play golf, unfortunately, it's not as good as it used to be. So.
Yeah. Oh.
So it was just a chain reaction of events that led to that.
And why do you feel people are so interested in golf?
There's many reasons. Obviously, the challenge against yourself, which not too many sports offer. You're always playing against another opponent, but in golf, you're playing against yourself more than anything else. Or for that matter, you can play against one of your peers, or 4 of your peers, or if you do join a golf club as a member, you're playing against 140 of the members. So, as well as the obvious reasons of it's an outdoor sport, and you're out there with in our case at Brookwater with the kangaroos and the wildlife. So there's many different reasons why, and that's why people play golf. It's a great sport. Not too many other sports offer all those components.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Okay, and speaking of the outdoors, the 2011 floods. Now you didn't get affected by that, so
not directly. We didn't. No,
yeah.
Being in obviously the Ipswich area, which was one of the worst affected.
Yeah.
The golf club itself obviously was wet, but we weren't affected by floods. So the golf course stood up well, and to put it strange, we probably received a bit more business from the golf clubs in the local area, such as Indooroopilly, which were affected quite severely. A lot of their members came to Brookwater and had a game and whatnot. But we were closed for 2 or 3 days, which is nothing in respect to a lot of the other places around. So we weren't affected directly at all. Indirectly, we were a little bit. Obviously, people were rebuilding their businesses in the local area, and the corporate dollar obviously wasn't there in the local area. But overall, we weren't affected as severe as a lot of the other local businesses. That's for sure.
And speaking of the corporate dollar, has that come back?
Not as much as we'd like it.
No.
We always want more. It's definitely, over the last 3 or 4 years, nowhere near as strong as it was in regards to what we've found with a lot of our corporate partners is the numbers of the golfers have probably diminished. Instead of your full 144 player fields, it's now more of your 60, 70, 80 type fields, which is so that the people are still playing, but the amount of players that are involved in it have lowered.
So how do you market your business then in the tougher times?
Yeah, that's the key. We're a little bit different out here at Brookwater. We need to market sort of not just in the local area. We do a lot of our marketing, particularly on the Gold Coast area as well. Now, a lot of players who come on their golfing trips tend to base themselves on the Gold Coast, which is the beaches and the party area. But what we find is a lot of people want to play the Gold Coast courses and Brookwater. So we market not just in the local area, we market obviously much more of a broader area than just the Brookwater, Ipswich type area.
Yeah.
And we're constantly updating our promotions and so on. So it's a tricky one, but it's as I said, these days with the way the times are with the dollar, that's something to be very smart on, is your marketing policies.
So the Gold Coast, I mean, people go there because of the beaches and stuff like that. But Brookwater, is it because of Greg Norman built the course and designed the course? Is that part of it?
It definitely helps. It is,
Yeah.
and he does have a reputation for designing top golf courses. We're lucky in regards to we've recently been ranked the #1 golf course in Queensland as a whole. The 2 major publications, Golf Australia magazine and also Golf Digest. So for that reason, everyone wants to play Brookwater when they come to Queensland. Yeah. And the reason we were rated #1, it is quite unique. The golf course is pretty much cut straight out of the bush, having Greg Norman's name to it. It's very unique in regards to the hole you're playing. You can't actually see another hole, so there's not too many golf courses in Australia, that's for sure, that has that. Every hole's a wow factor.
Yeah.
And as I said, that's the reason why people come to Brookwater as well as the Gold Coast courses.
So it's challenging, it's aesthetically appealing, focus on each hole, don't get distracted by all the others.
That's exactly right, and the challenge is something we have a challenge with. People think it's too hard at Brookwater, but it's not. We have put plans in place in regards to shorter tees and to ease that challenging factor, but people do come there as a Queensland's #1 golf course, and it's a good thing to have on your side when you're marketing the place.
Great,
that's for sure.
Isn't it? And what about the future? What's in store for the future?
The future, well, as we're 10 years old now, Brookwater, the golf club itself, so we're at a stage now where I guess the honeymoon period's over, if you like. So we have plans in place now of changing holes and maybe putting new holes in place and new features in place to rebirth the place, if you like, to get people coming back and seeing the improvements that we've made there. So
okay, great.
Yeah.
All right, well, thanks so much for coming on the show today.
No problem at all.
And it was great to hear about Brookwater. I must get up there and have a go.
Absolutely. Please
All
do.
right.
Thank you.
Well, that's all we have time for on the show today. Thank you again to all of our guests, Sandy Carrington from Fitness and Dance, Max Sollmer from Anytime Fitness, and Mark Weir from Brookwater Golf Club. So for more of Good Business, you can go to our website, www.goodbusinesstv.com.au. Thanks for watching, and make sure you join us again next week on Good Business.